Hello viewers, it's Super GT here. Welcome to some more Dirt Rally gameplay. So I have decided to go back to this game to do some record hunting. So what I'm going to do in this episode is go to this track here in Germany, and I'm going to go with the Group A cars in the Subaru. We're going to see my abilities tested here as I try to set my best time and see how high up in the leaderboards I can get. So this is my first run. I haven't actually done this track in this car. I have done the track, just not in this car. Almost going into the stones or the rocks on the inside there, having to bail out of the first hairpin. So this first run, no matter what happens, I'm going to go to the finish and see what time I can get. So if I get about 30 penalties, I will just continue to see what time I get. Now, this is actually quite a good track for me. I quite like this one. I actually like the German stages in this game, probably because they're tarmac. I just like the tarmac a lot more. The car feels a lot easier to control on the tarmac. So yeah, as I said, I have done this stage before, just not in this car. So I'm having to adjust to the different characteristics of this Subaru. I have done it in the 2000 Subaru STI, the WRX STI, which is a little bit faster, has quicker gear changes and better brakes. So having to brake a little bit earlier in this car and turn in a little bit earlier as well to accommodate for the different steering. Now this section here, as we approach the halfway mark through the stage, this section here is very tricky. Approaching this one, I often made quite a few mistakes in my previous run in the different class around here. And you get a series of hairpins here where you have to use the handbrake. You're really going to have to get that handbrake going. I go a little bit wide there, almost kill about 30 people in the crowd, but just about managed to keep it within the orange barrier there, sparing lots of people's lives. I guess I'm quite a reasonable guy like that. As we approach about 2/3 distance, now this turn here is pretty tricky as we brake quite sharp for a 90-degree right with lots of rocks, and I've gone very deep into there. Gonna smash into the rocks, lose maybe a couple of seconds just on that corner alone. Now this section here is flat out pretty much. You've got to be fairly brave through this section. Actually no, you don't, just mash down the throttle, should be alright. And we go uphill into a 90-degree right. We are approaching the very end of the stage now. Go a little bit too deep on the brakes there, lose maybe another couple of seconds, 1 or 2 seconds there I think. Coming down into the last hairpin now, braking just on the tarmac change there, or it appears to change colour, and that's where I was braking through the final hairpin as we go uphill to the finish. Let's see what time we're going to get. Are we going to beat 2:50? Not quite. Getting a 2 minutes 50.126. So that is my personal best, as you can see there. Not available is my personal best because this was my first time. So against my friends, Troy there setting a lap time about 4 or so seconds quicker, and my time was 61st in the world, so not too bad, but we can definitely do better than that. And I'm aiming for about 25th, which is here. That is about 3.5 seconds quicker. So let's see what we can do on our next run. So I know the track now, or I'm at least a lot more familiar with it in this car. Now this first hairpin, it is quite hard to judge whether you should go down to the first gear or second gear for that one. I found it's actually fairly tricky to get the hairpins right at all, because if you go too much on the handbrake, the car will just pretty much grind to a halt and will just bounce off the rev limiter. And I am going to go into the crowd there, get a 15-second penalty, so we are going to restart, and hopefully I can not fuck up this attempt. So coming through halfway mark here, I'm about 3 seconds up, or 2.5 seconds up. I'm going to go flying into the rocks there, way too quick on the entry. We're going to carry on though, because I don't know if I lost too much time. Actually, I think there's probably a way you could probably exploit the game there. Instead of braking, just going flying into that at 90 degrees, it might actually help you. But I'm not going to exploit the game like that. And I'm going to go very wide again, Get another 15-second penalty, kill a couple of people in the crowd again. So we're going to restart. Can't be dealing with a 15-second penalty in this mode where every second is crucial. So through this little section here, it's quite a tricky one to get right. You just have to be very patient. Don't go too fast. If you go onto the grass there, it's so bumpy and you will just flip over and die most likely. Like this. No, not quite. Actually taking that section there decent. About 3.5 seconds up on my split time. Braking before the crest for the hairpin. As you can see, just about getting it hooked up through the apex there. A little bit further on in the lap. Getting close to the billboard on the inside there as we approach the halfway mark through the stage. Am I going to maintain my advantage that I had? Let's see. Yes, 3.9 seconds. So if I can keep this up, I'll actually be quicker than that 25th in the world. So coming through these tight hairpins with rocks on the inside, so you just don't want to cut those at all. I've got a right hand one here, 90-degree right, almost skimming the inside rock there, and I go on the handbrake far too much there, lose maybe 2 or 3 seconds from excessive handbrake use. Need to be a bit more lenient on the handbrake through there. Now this section here, this corner, is really hard to get the brakes right for. Very misleading on the brakes, and I go again very wide on the entry, losing maybe another second. So in the last couple of corners I've lost maybe 2 or 3 seconds, maybe more. So we are still 3 seconds up though, so that actually bodes well for my lap time, knowing that I probably could go even quicker than this. Braking on the end of the shadow for that corner that time, actually getting it quite nicely hooked up as we approach the final hairpin of the stage. I like this stage because it's nice and short, and again with tarmac, I do like the tarmac stages. It's easier to practice a shorter stage as well, easier to memorise all of the corners. Over the finish line we go. That was a 2:45.8, so about 5 seconds quicker than my previous lap, or about 4.3 seconds quicker it's saying there. So that's quite a decent advantage over my previous best. I still could go quicker though. I made a couple of mistakes on that run. That is good enough for 18th in the world. Let's see what the top 10 is. 2:43.1, which is about 2.7 seconds quicker. I reckon I could do that if I didn't make those 2 mistakes. So we are going to try again here. Let's see what we can do. So this is the end of the first sector, and I'm going to go flying into the tree and crash and restart once again for about the 18th time in the last 2 seconds. So this is going to be it. This is going to be the final run. Let's see what we can do. Let's go off the line using the non-automatic start, or manual start I guess, where you have to hold down the handbrake. You can gain about half a second to a second by using that. That is on the assist menu if you want to turn that off. Hold down the handbrake, release the handbrake when it says go, and you can get a bit of an advantage through the second turn here. A little bit wide down into second gear. Could have taken that a little bit quicker. This one you can take flat out through there. You have to get very close to the rocks on the inside. This one as well. Be very patient for the first corner, otherwise you compromise yourself through the second one. Almost do that by going onto the grass, but just about managed to keep the car under control as we go through the first split. 0.06 behind my best, so at this stage looking alright. Not really worried about the red on the left hand side there. It was only 0.06, so boding very well at the moment. Coming through the couple of chicanes here, a couple of hairpins should I say. I always get chicanes and hairpins mixed up, even though I clearly know the difference. I just keep saying them wrong because I'm stupid. But through the 90-degree right-handers here. Big ditch on the exit there, don't want to go through there of course. Now this is the halfway mark. Let's see what advantage I have. Is it going to be a gain or a loss? It's a loss. 0.1 seconds. So again, very consistent, but still slightly down. But this is the section where I lost a lot of time in the previous run. So if I can get it right here, so it's not this corner but the next one, this left-hander here is where I lost maybe 2 or 3 seconds. So this time, not taking it amazingly, but do get through it without using excessive handbrake and grinding to a complete halt. Now this one I am going to brake a little bit earlier this time. Play it nice and safe, get hooked up with the apex a little bit better this time. And through this one, skimming the rock on the inside. I am absolutely pushing my luck there and just about managed to get through without crashing. Over the 3/4 mark, we are 3.7 seconds up. This bodes very well. So Super GT, please do not fuck it up now. You are in for a very good time. Braking on the end of the shadow into the right hander here. And again, hooked up very nicely. This one again, big rocks on the inside and the outside, so you've got to be very careful there. Getting the car sideways to keep it flat out. Into the final turn here. A very tricky corner. The corner does fall away from you there on the apex. Coming up now, uphill to the end. Let's see what we can do. 2 minutes 42.76. And that is going to be quicker than the previous 10th time. There we go. I am now in the top 10 in the world. Still 4 seconds off of a number 1. So I reckon I would have to do a lot of setup changes and obviously have a better run. But 4 seconds off, that is quite a big gap still. So the guys at the top there really quick. Look at this guy right at the bottom of the leaderboard though, 1,600th in the world. A whopping 8 minutes 57 from Mike McGregor there. That's actually quite impressive to go that slow. I guess he must have got a lot of penalties or ate his dinner halfway through or something. But that's going to be it from me. A bit of a longer video in Dirt Rally this time. I thank you very much for watching. If you do have suggestions for other stages I should try out, please let me know in the comments down below and I shall try them out. But that is going to be all from me today. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Subscribe for more of the same. Hit the like button if you did like this video. And I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks again. Goodbye.